Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
If that fight ends up being close,
yes,
a lot of people are going to watch that fight, right?
A lot, yes. because I think a lot of people are going to want to see Jake Paul lose, and
100%.
Floyd Mayweather has dismissed the idea of Jake Paul fighting Canelo Alvarez, stating that Jake would be completely outmatched. Mayweather argued that while Jake may look impressive against YouTubers and non-boxers, he would struggle against true professionals. According to Mayweather, the moment Jake steps into the ring with an elite fighter like Canelo, it would be game over.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever. Period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
It get fucked up by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry, it's TMZ.
You can curse.
I apologize, but
no apologize about it.
There's no way he get demolished. But for what he's doing, as long as they keep getting YouTubers and keep putting them in there with MMA guys.
Canelo Alvarez is widely regarded as one of boxing's smartest businessmen, choosing fights not just for competition but for massive paydays. That's why Jake Paul believes a fight with Canelo is inevitable. Jake has built his brand as boxing's biggest entertainer, claiming fans tune in whether they want to see him win or get knocked out. He argues that his ability to drive pay-per-view sales will make a fight with Canelo too lucrative to ignore, promising millions in revenue for both fighters.
And people may think that sounds crazy, but Canelo is a smart businessman, and at the end of the day, he wants to do big fights and make entertainment, make huge entertainment products. And my skill set is improving every single day, and that's what doing fights like this are about: taking on real professional fighters, so that eventually I could take on tougher fighters. And I see Canelo versus Jake Paul happening in the next 24 months. It just makes so much sense. And also, people forget that I'm 200 pounds. I have a size advantage. All of these things that start to add up, which make it such an interesting fight that I fully believe I'll win. There's the KSIs, the Tommy Furies, the Nate Diaz MMA fight, but I don't know if these guys actually want to put it on the line. We've tried to make a Floyd fight happen. Floyd's ducked it. So I don't know if these guys really want to take a...
Jeff Mayweather, a respected voice in boxing, has completely dismissed the idea of Jake Paul fighting Canelo Alvarez, calling it unrealistic. He stated that no one in the sport would take the matchup seriously, and even joked that Jake might as well challenge Muhammad Ali. In Jeff's view, Jake is living in a fantasy world, calling out elite boxers without proving himself against real competition. He believes Canelo would never entertain the fight, as it wouldn't be competitive in the slightest.
All right, here with Jeff Mayweather. Jeff, appreciate taking the time. Unfortunately, the Hasim Rahman Jr. Jake Paul fight has been canceled. Jake said something very interesting, though. He said that the big fight out there right now is Canelo, and he said, hey, Canelo can be beat. Bivol gave the blueprint, and I'm just like Bivol. I have the same powers, similar attributes, speed, elusiveness. He's basically I don't want to say carbon copy, but he's very similar to Bivol, so he would match up favorably with Canelo. Hard to argue. He's undefeated so far, and boxers are ducking him. What do you think?
Well, maybe. Why don't he just fight Bivol then? Canelo's already fight somebody. Fight Triple G.
Canelo's the money, right?
Not anymore.
He's more money than Bivol.
He's probably more money than Bivol.
Especially if he beats Triple G.
Yeah, he's still probably more money than. But the thing is that nobody's even gonna take that serious. I mean, you can say all you want to. I mean, you can say you can fight Muhammad Ali. You can say you can fight whoever. I mean, ain't nobody taking that serious.
But why not Canelo? So Canelo wants money fights. Jake is, it's pretty undeniable. He's the hottest prospect in boxing right now. He's undefeated. He's also one of the biggest draws in boxing. So why would that not be a fight to make? Or do you think that's something Canelo figures that's, it would look bad if he didn't come through positively in that fight?
I think that it's a fight that Jake is just yelling just to make himself look like he's legitimate. But, of course, he has a coach that would never let fight Canelo.
You wouldn't favor him in that fight against Canelo?
A discussion on Ariel Helwani's podcast reinforced that a Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez fight is not happening. They bluntly stated that there is no scenario where this matchup could take place. It's not just unlikely, it's outright impossible.
Just pound for pound great being the hang-up in the fight, being the one that stops the momentum. Because it's not happening. There is no world.
Okay, then let me ask
May
you
I be
this.
struck by lightning right now if this is possible?
Does
Wow, a lightning bet from.
if this happens,
Right.
if this happens,
There's just no way. There is no way.
Wait. If what happens? If the fight happens, or if the
No.
upset of
If
the
Jake
century
Paul,
happens?
if Jake Paul derails Terrence Crawford versus Canelo by
All credit to
beating
Then-
Canelo,
then you book
there's
Jake
no
Paul
chance.
versus Terrence Crawford.
Zero.
okay, let
None.
me ask you this: if that fight ends up being close,
Yes.
a lot of
It
people
won't.
are going to watch that fight, right?
A
of people
lot,
Yes.
because I think a lot of people are going to want to
Let's-
see Jake Paul lose, and
100%.
and
Let
Canelo's going to
Alvarez
do
is
this.
gonna be like a
Canelo
-2,000
would do
favorite.
this, and we're
Let's
just talking.
backtrack. Let's backtrack to your first question, which is interest. I'm very interested because, as I've long said, I'm on this corner. I only care about Jake Paul in spectacles. It would be an absolute spectacle to see a pound for pound. First, he did Mike Tyson, which, and I'm not going all the way back, but I'm saying in his most recent outing, Mike Tyson, an all-time legend, a pop culture icon, versus Jake Paul is a spectacle. Now you're going the opposite direction to nearly in his prime. We'll say maybe like he's on the back nine, but he's still close to his prime. He's still a top 5 pound for pound on pretty much anybody's list fighter. Going against Jake Paul, I'm in for the spectacle. I'm in. I don't think Jake Paul has a chance in hell, but I'm in for the spectacle.
And how long has he been beating the drum on this? He's been saying he's going to do this forever.
That he's
Listen,
gonna
let's
fight
see.
Canelo.
Let's see what
Yeah, so,
happens.
like-
They believe Jake Paul is living in a fantasy if he thinks he can step into the ring with Canelo. Former world champion Carl Froch also weighed in, warning that if this fight were to happen, it would get ugly. A longtime critic of Jake's boxing career, Froch insists Jake lacks the skill to compete with Canelo. He stated that Jake would be completely outclassed and potentially hurt, emphasizing that Canelo is a ruthless fighter who never takes it easy on opponents. According to Froch, Jake wouldn't just lose, he'd be seriously exposed.
He'd mentioned me before, and there'll be people out there saying, oh, Carl Froch's talking about himself, he's after a payday. Listen, I'm not after a payday. I'm doing all right. There's no problems with my finances. But I'll take the fucking payday, of course I will. And I'll end Jake Paul with one punch. I'm going there one-armed and beat this guy. He can't box. He's absolutely fucking useless, which we saw last night with Mike Tyson. Talking about Canelo Alvarez. I've not mentioned Canelo Alvarez because it's just laughable. Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez, can you imagine? I mean, Jake Paul fancies that and he jumps in the ring with him. I will pay homage to him because fair play, if he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed and it will be fast and it will be messy and it will be bad for his health as well, potentially.
Despite widespread skepticism from boxing analysts, Jake Paul's trainer has hinted that an official announcement about a fight with Canelo Alvarez is coming real soon. This statement has sparked speculation that the matchup could actually happen, even though most consider it a mismatch. While some fans believe Jake is simply bluffing for media attention, others think there may be some truth to the rumors. Either way, his trainer's comments have only added fuel to the fire.
I can't give you the insight. I can't give you the insight. Just know that announcement coming real soon. Real soon.
Let me ask you a question then. Obviously, you're not going to tell me.
Okay.
You keep moving.
All right, my bad.
If Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez is expected to happen in May, Jake simply won't have enough time to prepare. Boxing experts argue that he would need months just to reach the proper weight class and condition himself for a fight against someone of Canelo's caliber. Given the timeline, it seems highly unlikely that Jake will be ready by May. Even if the fight were scheduled later in the year, Many believe he wouldn't be able to close the massive skill gap between him and Canelo, no matter how much time he has to train.
You said that you'd like to go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call out a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen
In
3
the
more years from now.
So I'm
going to get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of, and with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for his money.
Would you ever do like exhibitions like that, or like people like Jake Paul call you out, or these like other big stars? Like, is that business-wise like even worth it?
When I'm done with boxing, why not? Maybe I do it. I think it's
like when you're done like competing at the highest level, you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing, they wanna watch Jake Paul because he's coming from he bring fans from other world, right? Yeah. That's good because everybody enjoy it.
Would you ever entertain that idea when you're done?
Maybe.